Do you guys learn from a tough loss like this? You know, another close rank loss. Like, I know there's no moral victories in this, but what are you guys taking away?
Yeah, I think any game, like win or lose, definitely something you could take away. I think it showed that when we really do lock in and like play hard, we can hang around. But it's just a matter of we have to do this consistently, like throughout the whole game.
Amaya, what did they do as the game progressed that made getting the open shots that much more difficult?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really remember. They probably just played a little bit more physical up on the ball, or like not up on the ball, but like when I was trying to get the ball, and then just denied me closely.
Go ahead.
Was there anything in particular that when Michigan went on these runs was specifically hard to defend? Anything that they were doing that you noticed?
Nothing specifically, but I just think we got lost sometimes. I think we mixed up on screens and we didn't over-communicate, and I think that led to easy buckets for them. So yeah, when we were locked in on our communication, I think that's when we got stops.
I ask you kind of the same question I asked Amaya. You had, I think, a 1-point lead entering the fourth quarter, and you just struggled to get the offense going in the fourth quarter. Can you just talk about what in your mind was the problem there?
I mean, I think it was our defense. Like, we know that defense leads into offense, and I just think we kind of struggled to get quick stops. We weren't as aggressive, and that led to just a slow-paced offense, which is not what we want. And, I mean, credit to them. They're a good team, and they were solid defensively and switched really hard, and that's not something that we were key on.
Amaya, what are you guys learning about yourselves in the absence of Taylor Woodson and Mark Brown right now, just your identity offensively?
Yeah, anytime player goes down, definitely sucks. And then we kind of had a similar situation last season with Sofin, Swinham going down as well. So I think a lot of the things we learned last year of like what to do when people go down, kind of everybody needs to give a little bit more. And then obviously those two are big threats offensively and defensively, so definitely switches up the dynamic. But I think it just gives everybody another chance or opportunities to do a little bit more, expand and grow their game.
Go ahead.
Coach, when your team holds Michigan just to 7 points in that second quarter after allowing 26 in the first, how do you translate that in like a message at halftime? What do you tell them?
Well, I thought we really did a great job of applying better ball pressure and really scrambled and helped each other at a lot higher level. And, I think there are times when we are more passive defensively than we want to be. And I think we have to find ways to figure out how to get out of that mode and be aggressive without fouling.
Do we have any more questions for players?
For either of you, just what was it like playing in that atmosphere tonight? I mean, two ranked teams for the first time in 5 years. You heard them a couple stretches when you guys were playing well, get loud. Just what was the atmosphere like for you guys on the court?
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun to play in front of a big crowd, but like I said to the team at the beginning, I was like, I just want to play for each other right now, no matter if the crowd's up or down. Just continue to focus on each other, and I think our huddles were really good tonight. I think nobody lost hope, and we were tight huddles, which was good.
Thank you, guys.
Games this season.
Well, I think we're entering the toughest stretch of our schedule, and so and we're put in a tough spot. I think with getting back and we really only had 1 day to prep for a ranked team, and that puts you in a really tough spot. So I think our message I thought our effort for the most part, we competed at a very high level. I think Michigan is a team that has the ability to put you in a lot of tough situations on both ends of the court. And so the first thing is understanding that intensity that you need. And I thought we got to that in many stretches during the course of the game. Now we've got to get recovered because now we play Wisconsin, who played 2 days earlier and has some more rest and recovery. And so now we're put in a tougher spot. And so now we've got to find a way to get recovered, get back in classes. We're in that right now, and then get ready for a really tough matchup on Sunday. And then it continues, So I think we're learning, we're improving, and we're progressing, and that's important for us.
How hard is it to find an identity offensively without your face of the program?
Yeah, that's a challenge, and without probably one of your better athletes in Taylor. And then, I thought when we did have some opportunities attacking the rim, we didn't finish those. I thought again the physicality down low, we've got to find ways to still score even when that's the case. And I thought it wasn't from a lack of effort from our young ladies. I thought we had a couple possessions. Maybe we could have tried to get offensive rebounds. But again, I think Michigan's got some size and athleticism, and they're physical with the inside and rebounding too. So it's not necessarily that's easy to go get those either.
Go ahead in the back.
You mentioned that it's hard to prepare in one day for any ranked team, but what makes it difficult to prepare for Michigan specifically?
Well, they run actions that the more you have chances to prep, the better you do. For us as a team, we're not a team that scores efficiently at the rim. We haven't been that until we had days to practice. And then it was interesting after, one day, we had took Monday off, basically watched film and got our bodies recovered. But then yesterday in our one-day prep and we're going back and scoring around the rim, we finished a lot less efficiently than we had been. But it's, that's something that we have to work on as much as possible. But you also have to be as smart as possible because you don't want to wear your team out because you need to have a lot of juice to be able to play and compete. And so balancing all that out is really, really tough for us. But we try to do the best we can and try to put us in positions. And again, I thought we competed with a really good team.
For all the finishing on the rim, it seems like this game might have been won and lost at the perimeter. They made 11 of 24 threes. I think you guys were 6 of 25.
Yeah.
3 for 14 in the fourth. I know you're not a 3-point dominant team, but that has to be less of a discrepancy, right?
Well, the way that they defend, they're kind of daring you to make shots from the perimeter, right? So they're swarming inside the lane and physical with you in there. And so when you kick it out, you're going to have some good opportunities. Now, not all of ours were great opportunities. Thought our contested three, late, with about a minute and a half to go in transition, probably is one we'd want to have back. But I thought a number of them were good-looking shots. And then at the same time, sometimes you got to step up and make plays too. And I thought they had 2 of their threes. One of them was a bank three, and one was a step back contested at the end of the shot clock three. So, and we had some that were, I don't know, and they did too, but we had some that were wide open, that's what they're making you, forcing you to take some of those and make some of those. So, we've got to find a way to do that, play really, really hard and still score efficiently.
Last 2 games against Maryland and on Sunday, fourth quarter was your quarter, really. Right. What changed, do you think, tonight? I mean, you guys played so well, particularly in the second quarter, but it seemed like you maybe weren't able to take enough advantage offensively to create a cushion.
Well, I think we didn't get stops when we absolutely needed to get stops, and I think that's really critical for you as well.
In front.
Michigan's Silas North had 23 points today, 6 3-pointers. What was the approach to guarding her defensively, and kind of what made her effective today?
Well, obviously her approach wasn't very good, right? I thought she got she got early looks that were really not overly contested looks in the first quarter. And as a shooter, when you get open looks or easier looks early, you kind of get into a rhythm. And then it makes other shots a little bit. If you feel good going into it, you're hunting those kind of shots. So I thought we kind of we didn't do a good job early enough in the game on her, but she's a great player and she made plays and she made shots. You still have to make them, even if they're. Whether they're wide open, whether they're, slightly contested or well contested, and she made them.
Last question in the front.
In scouting Michigan's 3 freshmen, Olsen, Swords, and Holloway, did you identify them immediately as 3-level scorers, and how did they surprise you in any way today, and how they performed?
Well, I don't think they surprised us in any way. I think we know they're very good, and again. Unfortunately, you have one day truly to prep, and that makes it even more difficult. But I thought our players were as locked in as you can be, and I thought, we made adjustments during the course of the game. And so, but yeah, they're very, very talented young ladies, and I thought they played at a really high level, and they did it on the road, and so they deserve a lot of credit for doing that.
Thank you, guys.